big news coming out of Jets camp, as reported by Adam Schefter. Mike Williams, free agent wide receiver formerly of the Los Angeles Chargers, intends to sign a one-year deal with the New York Jets worth up to $15 million with incentives. As we all know, Mike Williams is visiting the Jets today, landed last night in New Jersey, is visiting with them today, and it seems like that visit went well with his desire to now sign with the New York Jets. To be honest, I'm a little surprised about this, about it coming out so early, because he did have meetings lined up with Pittsburgh and I forget the other team, but he had other meetings lined up. But, I guess JD, he was able to, I guess entice him to just, what? He closed the deal. He got it done. Didn't let him leave the building. I know tons of Jets fans today were saying, don't let Mike Williams leave the building without a contract. And that's exactly what happened. Look, ultimately, I think this is probably the route that they had to go. At the beginning of free agency and everything, I was not really for some of these players with all the injuries, Tyron Smith, Mike Williams. But look, with the win now year, I think you have to take a flyer on these guys. And look, what Joe Douglas has done is he said he was going to stick to the same old game plan that he has in years past. But look, it looks like he's flipped that around. Going out, getting these deals done for these big name players that can help the team right now. And I'm all for it. I'm happy. Look, Joe Douglas, congrats to you. Keep it going. Get some depth on the O-line. But look, what this does is it really opens up the playbook for the New York Jets in the draft. They don't have to take an offensive tackle or offensive lineman. They don't have to get a wide receiver. They can go best player available. It gives them more flexibility to trade down if they want, which it sounds like they might do so. Right behind the Jets, you have Minnesota and Denver, who are both going to be looking for quarterbacks. And if the top three quarterbacks are gone in Drake May, Caleb Williams, and the quarterback for LSU. Can't think of the name right now. If all three of them are gone, there might be a little bit of a bidding war in the later, getting closer to pick 10 for these quarterbacks, like J.J. McCarthy or something like that. Maybe even a Michael Penix, who knows. But there could be a bidding war going on at pick 10, because you're going to have probably Joe Alt and Olu Fashanu go ahead of them. You're going to have some playmakers going ahead, which will drop those other quarterbacks down a little bit. And look, again, the flexibility that this opens up for the New York Jets, I think, is exactly what they needed. That's why I want them to go out and get some of these players. That's why I want them to go out and fill their holes on the offensive line and free agency. Grab a playmaker, because, look, now they're not stuck in one position. I mean, hopefully they don't go defensive tackle or edge rusher or something like that. But, look, speaking of edge rusher, Jadeveon Clowney is coming in on Wednesday, so we'll see what happens with that. But look, this is exactly what they needed. It is. They needed the flexibility in a year where they had limited resources, limited cap space. I said you're probably not going to fix the offensive line in 1 year. I mean, granted, this isn't a multi-year thing with Moses and Tyron Smith only being on 1 year deals. But look, this is... I was wrong. I'll eat crow. I'll eat my shoe. Whatever the case may be, I'm happy to be wrong in this situation. And this is exactly what they needed. They needed the flexibility in a year that, win now year. You have holes to fill, and you had limited resources. Joe Douglas has found a way to do it. And hey, again, kudos to him. Managing the cap. We didn't have, $50-60 million in cap space. We had somewhere in the 20s, around 24 to 26 million, I believe. And JD made it work. So good. Kudos to him. Just another weapon for Aaron Rodgers. Big body receiver. Really, really good contested catch guy. Has good speed, can do a lot of good things for you. I think this is kind of takes the place of what we hoped Allen Lazard would be. Hopefully the drops aren't as, aren't there like it was with Allen Lazard, but Look, good pickup. You didn't let him leave. You were aggressive. You got the right guy, and you basically said what is it going to take to be here. And I don't think the contract details are out right now, but again, it's 1 year, up to $15 million with incentives. So we'll see how that breaks down once those numbers come out. But big pickup, breaking news, Mike Williams, free agent wide receiver. Well, I guess not free agent anymore, but wide receiver formerly of the Los Angeles Chargers, now appears to be going to the New York Jets on a 1-year deal worth up to $15 million with incentives. We'll see what happens next. Like I said, Jadeveon Clowney's coming in on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. But until then, let's go Jets.